Good morning, I'm Heidi Glaus.
And I'm Dana Dean.
The 1980s were unforgettable.
I was born in 1984.
I was in 6th grade. Around that time, this is what the KSDK set looked like. The earrings were bigger, the hair taller.
And the shoulder pads, a must. Gag me with a spoon.
It's also the decade that brought Mike Bush to St. Louis. He started here in 1985.
At that point, Art Holliday had been here doing sports for 6 years, but in 1989, he moved to Today in St. Louis, where he teamed up with Jennifer Blome for 22 years.
We have a righteous show planned. Don't touch that dial. Show Me St. Louis starts now. Happy Halloween! We are celebrating the 80s this morning, so it's only fitting that our first story is with Hall of Famer Ozzie Smith. He was added to the Cardinals roster in 1982 and helped them win the World Series that year. Dana stopped by his home and discovered he's quite the chef.
Well, let me tell you, Ozzie can cook. He spends a lot of time in his kitchen, and it's where he made us his favorite meal.
It's only fitting that Ozzie Smith's doorbell sounds like this.
Welcome to Oz.
Thank you.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, good.
The Hall of Fame shortstop was known for his backflips on the field, but you might not know the wizard is also a wizard in the kitchen.
I do it well enough to where the people that I cook for enjoy it, and that's what it's all about, family and friends. Give it another minute or so.
It's no wonder he likes to spend his time in this kitchen.
The hearth area is where most of the conversation and everything is had. Is where we watch television, and view's not bad either.
Ozzie is cooking us his favorite meal: fried chicken, collard greens, potato salad, sweet potatoes, and cornbread.
It's my favorite because it's what you call real soul food.
He learned to cook from his mom, and you won't find him using measuring cups or spoons.
When I watched my mom cook, she never really measured things.
His collard greens include turnip, bell pepper, celery, and one very special ingredient.
You always want to give it a little snap, right? A little kick. This is my secret kick. That little thing right there. It's a habanero pepper that I let cook in the greens themselves.
He'll spend hours cooking this meal, and it's worth every minute.
Now comes a time of testing. How's the chicken?
I mean, it's perfect.
Ozzie is a man of many talents. In fact, we're not sure there's anything he can't do.
Okay, his sweet potatoes were out of this world. Yes, and he told me he adds almond, vanilla, lemon, and coconut to them. Oh, and a stick of butter.
I mean, who knew? And you got to eat Ozzie's fried chicken in his house. That's amazing.
It was a dream. It was amazing.
Such a cool guy.
He is.
Thanks, Dana. You know, this time of year, lots of things tend to go bump in the night, but there's an office in St. Charles where something sort of eerie happens throughout the year.
In the shadow of the old St. Charles County Courthouse is an even older house, a brick dwelling built in 1869 with a decorative cornice that gives it character. But it's the ghostly characters inside that people tend to talk about.
Yeah. I was warned about the office.
Linda Hurtelinde has worked for SSM Health for several years.
This is Linda.
But when she became the VP of Care Coordination for SSM Health, she moved into the Dr. John H. Stumberg home.
I heard lots of stories of people being here and kind of feeling a presence of what they call a little girl and an older woman.
A woman many assume is Helen, the daughter of Dr. Stumberg. Linda was skeptical, but before she had really settled in, she had her own stories to share.
As I would be sitting at my desk, and I would feel like there was maybe something tickling my feet.
Or the back of her neck.
I remember talking to somebody who had had a lot of experiences at this office, and they said, oh, that's the little girl.
It was the first of many hard-to-explain experiences she tried to make excuses for.
One night, I was here working, and it was late, and I had all of the lights were off in the house except mine in the office. And I was sitting there, all of a sudden I saw a shadow on the wall. And I was like, okay, that's probably lightning because it's lightning outside. Shortly after that, my radio went off. I said, that's okay. My radio is probably set on a timer. That's okay, no problem. All of a sudden I felt something across my cheek, and I was like, oh.
That was her cue to leave, but the strangest thing appeared when she got home.
When I got home and I looked in the mirror, I had a true scratch all the way down, and it was a scratch that was there for a week.
And that, oddly enough, isn't the strangest story.
So one day the doorbell rang, and I went to open it up, and it had just snowed, and there were no footsteps. And that's when I came back and I said to my coworker, please help me explain this one.
Jeff Glaus has also spent a lot of time in the office.
I always felt like I was being watched, for lack of a better description.
And isn't afraid to say he'd rather not do business here.
I tried to avoid it, and when I had to come over and get files or what have you, it was a quick in, it was a quick out.
Michael Henry, on the other hand, is the man behind St. Charles Ghost Tours. He's even written a book on the subject. But this is the first time he's been in the Stumberg home, so he didn't come empty-handed.
It's my quick and dirty box of tools.
He brought his spirit bell that rang when no one was around it, and a pendulum board.
Put your elbow on the table and hold the pendulum so it's just above the board.
So is Helen here? I think I'm done with this.
Luckily, I can be. It's not my office.
I'm not gonna lie, it was creepy, and there is no way I would be in that office after dark alone. Well, this house in Oakville doesn't have strange spirits walking the halls, but it does have some spooky decorations inside and out. Julia Sandvoss is the self-proclaimed Halloween queen. She has transformed the main level of her home into a creepy crib. She has toasters, typewriters, and TVs that come alive. You can see it tonight if you're interested. Follow Busy Bunny with a Z on Instagram and shoot her a message for the exact address along Shady Ridge Court. She'll open her house to the public from 6 to 10 tonight. Coming up, the second season of Stranger Things came out over the weekend. After the break, we'll tell you about the fun event happening tonight where you can binge watch the show. And he's a 6-time Emmy-nominated Hollywood makeup artist. Jeff Lewis is on Television Plaza with tips to make you look like a popular Snapchat filter. Stick around. Our Show Me St. Louis Halloween special is just getting started.
Hey, let's hear ya!
Oh, they're so cute! Scooby-Doo!
Here they are, I'm coming back!
Welcome back to Show Me St. Louis. I'm Heidi Glaus.
And I'm Dana Dean. We love to show you the newest, coolest places to eat around St. Louis.
But before we became a big foodie town, a popular place to grab a bite was the floating McDonald's. Big Macs were served on a barge along Lenore K. Sullivan from 1980 to 2000.
Another unforgettable place was Noah's Ark in St. Charles. It was more than a restaurant. It was a tourist attraction with giant fiberglass animals that greeted guests the moment they pulled into the parking lot. It was the site of many first dates and engagements, but it was demolished in 2007.
And let's not forget the Parkmore, the diner that used to be at the corner of Big Bend and Clayton, where people could grab a king burger and onion rings. It closed in 1999, but the memories remain. Ah, the memories. These days, new memories are being made all over town at some incredible restaurants.
This just in, Salt and Smoke's second location officially opens to the public on Sunday. We shared the news early this January that Salt and Smoke would be getting another location. The delicious barbecue you can now enjoy at its original spot in Del Mar Loop will open its Southampton location Sunday. That's where Matthew's Kitchen was once located. The food starts being served at 11 a.m. You can take a look at the delicious menu at saltandsmokestl.com.
The people behind Gorilla Street Food also announced they're adding another location. They hope to open the new spot this winter in the Del Mar Loop at 6120 Del Mar. In addition to the flagship food truck and restaurant on Grand Avenue, they also now do the food for Second Shift Brewing and have plans to add a few menu items to tropical liqueurs in the Grove this fall.
In other food news, the Fountain on Locust will be featured on the Cooking Channel Thursday night at 9 p.m. If you Turn that remote to the cooking channel's Late Night Eats. You'll see the Fountain on Locust Moroccan pot pie and Late Night Delight Sunday are featured. How cool. The Fountain on Locust is 3 blocks from the fabulous Fox. It's open for lunch and dinner every day but Monday. For more information, visit fountainonlocust.com. They've also been recognized as the best grilled cheese in Missouri by Pure Wow. The food scene here in St. Louis is exploding, Heidi.
Yeah, and let's not forget that Food and Wine recently called the St. Louis food scene seriously good right now. I couldn't agree more. Still ahead, come on down, St. Louis. The Price is Right Live is heading to our city. We'll let you know when and where you can spin the wheel in this live interactive stage show. And apples are still in season at Eckert's. Angie Eckert is on our plaza with the steps to a sweet and savory recipe. We're making apple bacon quesadillas when Show Me St. Louis continues. What a cute scarecrow.
That is, yes. They're the kids.
Aww.
Oh, it's too hard to do. I can't hear you. You guys are being too quiet.
So Dana, what do you call a cow that can't move?
I don't know, Heidi, what?
A milk dud. Speaking of candy, do trick-or-treaters need an umbrella tonight?
Well, Heidi, the good news is that trick-or-treaters shouldn't need an umbrella unless they plan to be Mary Poppins. It is going to be a beautiful evening for getting candy. Now, the only thing you might think about is that it will be cloudy and colder tonight, and tomorrow Mr. Golden Sun is going to be playing peekaboo. That's a look at your weather. Back to you, Heidi.
Thanks, Dana. If you're looking for a place to take the kids trick-or-treating tonight, you can head to Cherokee Street. From 5 to 7, families and kids will be able to pick up a treat bag and a map at 2846 Cherokee Street. From there, you can trick-or-treat at participating businesses along the street. You can find more information and see a list of participating businesses online at CherokeeStreetNews.org. Kids are also invited to trick-or-treat along Main Street in St. Charles. From 3 to 5, your costumed ghouls and goblins can get candy from local businesses. Before or after your stroll along Main, you can hop over to Frontier Park for Halloween hoopla. There will be games and activities for the kids. The Bubble Bus will also be there, adding an extra pop to the party. For more information, call 636-946-7776 or check out discoverstcharles.com. If you're wanting your kids to avoid anything that may give them a cavity, stop by HealthWorks Kids Museum Sunday for the Great Candy Exchange. Kids can trade in their unopened candy for a chance to win prizes. The Great Candy Exchange is from noon to 4. You can learn more on the museum's Facebook page. HealthWorks Kids Museum St. Louis is located at 1100 Macklin Avenue. Well, if you didn't have time to binge watch the new season of the Netflix original series Stranger Things this past weekend, you can tonight at the Monocle. The place is described as an all-inclusive, classy dive bar on Manchester Avenue in the Grove. Tonight, the bar is hosting a watch party. You're encouraged to dress up in your best 80s horror movie attire. The binging starts at 7. It's free to attend. Well, this guy right here, Jeff Lewis, has 25 years of experience working in film and television. He's done makeup on some of Hollywood's biggest names. I mean, George Clooney.
George Clooney.
Right?
That's
Name
right.
drop some other people.
Oh, God, there's a lot. Scott Bakula, I got to mention him because he's from St.
Yeah.
Louis. So, you know, doing all the Star Trek stuff, Patrick Stewart. You know, there's just a lot of people out there.
But you
Anna Kendrick, 13 Reasons Why last year was,
Yeah.
was the big series we got done doing. So
It's so cool, and congratulations on all of your success. You moved back to Edwardsville
Right.
about 11 years ago,
Yep.
and you opened up a cool store and school.
Yep. We opened up a makeup academy and a store around that, and so we're teaching future makeup artists, you know, how to do the craft. So
And today you're going to kind of teach us a little something of how
Right.
to make that popular Snapchat filter.
Yep. Yeah, this is Sierra. She's my student at the school. She's the one that
You look
kind of
great.
got it all going. So what we did today is we just did the deer today.
Yeah, so where
know?
do you start with this?
Well, everything's been airbrushed except for, some of the eye work, but we just airbrushed, most of the makeup, and then, just the eye work that we just did.
It brings contouring to a new level, because this is where you contour, but instead you took like a really intense contour with the airbrush.
Right. Yeah, so most of our makeup's airbrushed, and that's what we do a lot
It's
in
so
the film
good.
industry is airbrush.
Close your eyes. Close your eyes. See that? What is
Yeah.
that? Is that liner there?
Yep.
Like a
just
white
a white liner.
A white liner.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
So that's
and
been a popular look this year.
in the lips.
You know?
And you do the top lip, not the bottom lip, in a darker color. Is
Right.
that key?
Yep.
Wow.
We're doing that, and then as of tomorrow, you can change the black nose to a red nose. You know, so we can get dual purpose out of it. You know.
I mean, you even paid attention to the neck detail. See
Yeah,
that? I mean,
and how simple, because you can wear whatever you want and it's just on your face. Now, you went old school with us because you also did our 80s makeup. For 80s, you got to go with that eyeshadow that's a little...
You got a little of the dark eyeshadow, some of the red lips, you know, and a lot with the hair.
And a lot
that
with
was
the
kind of
hair.
fun. We don't usually have a makeup artist.
No, it's very nice.
So it was.
I don't
it was
think
a
we can
treat.
afford Jeff. But you guys, the Makeup Department Academy is in Edwardsville, Illinois at 1043 Century Drive. You can give the shop a call at 618-650-9270. You can see more of his incredible work on his Facebook page, which is the Makeup Department and Academy. Stay right there. Show Me St. Louis is coming back after this. Welcome back to Show Me St. Louis. Man in the Mirror was one of the most popular songs back in 1988. That year, Michael Jackson brought his Bad tour to St. Louis. He played 2 sold-out shows at the St. Louis Arena.
88 also brought Mother Teresa to town. On June 7th, she spoke to the 200th General Assembly of the Presbyterian Church of the USA, which was held in the downtown Sheraton Hotel.
And in 1988, Jackie Joyner-Kersee not only earned gold medals in both the heptathlon and the long jump, she was named the first Woman of the Year by the Sporting News. She was the first woman to receive the honor. She beat out Michael Jordan and several other male athletes. She was, and still is, totally awesome. You know, Bob Barker made The Price is Right must-see TV in the 80s, and it's still pretty darn popular. This February, you can be part of the interactive stage show at the Fabulous Fox. The Price is Right Live will give eligible individuals the chance to play classic games from the popular television game show. The stage show is not televised and is an on-stage version of the show. However, contestants will have the chance to win cash, appliances, vacations, and possibly a new car. Tickets go on sale this Friday, November 3rd at 10 a.m. on the Fox Theater's website. Well, Eckert's was most definitely around 100 years ago. In fact, the farm dates back way back. You guys are like 6th, 7th generation.
7th generation, that's right, 1837.
And
so we've been around a while.
Angie Eckert makes possibly the cutest scarecrow ever. We're making something
so
kind of sweet and savory today because apples are still in season.
Apples are still in season. This is a great quick meal for tonight before you send the trick-or-treaters out to get all sugared up. We're using bacon, mozzarella cheese, and I just quick cook these apples to soften them up. I'm using Granny Smith because we're still picking Granny Smith apples at Eckert's.
Now, when you said quick cook the apples, you just throw them in the...
sauteed them a little bit on the skillet, just like a couple of minutes, and then secret weapon here is a little honey Dijon mustard, but you know, you can also skip that if your kids aren't hip on sauces. You know, everybody has kind of their own fave.
Yeah.
And then we just heat that up a little. We're gonna fold it over and all that good cheese is gonna melt and make us a sweet little savory treat there.
Goodness. Now, I missed, is that apple flavored bacon or just any old bacon?
This is just slow smoked, thick cut bacon. At Eckert's, we cut our bacon a little bit thicker, and that I think that gives it a little more flavor because every bite you get a little more.
Yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna do.
Yeah,
and this is your own honey Dijon mustard too.
Right. And
now,
then
how
just
often? I
mozzarella.
mean, how long do we have while we can still pick our own apples?
Okay, so we have an amazing apple crop this year, and we have 2 more weekends of picking at Belleville. I can't believe it. We haven't done this in a really long time, but we'll be picking the first 2 weekends in November. Granny Smith, which I used today, and we also have Fuji.
You just took a big old bite.
Delicious. I think you have lipstick on your apple.
Red
that 80s lipstick.
Right. All right, if you'd like the recipe for apple bacon quesadillas, we'll have it posted a little later on KSTK.com. You can pick up your own apples at Eckert's in Belleville from 9 to 5 daily. Apples and lots of other great items are also available for purchase in their country store. To find out more information about everything going on at the farm, check out Eckerts.com or call 800-745-0513. Speaking of Eckert's, big thank you for being our Halloween show sponsor. They decorated our plaza for the 2nd year in a row. It looks amazing. We also need to say thanks to our directors, Robin and Phil, Bobby, who does our audio. We could not have done this show without them. And photojournalist Randy Schwanker for putting together our awesome News Opens Photojournalist Jim Demons for capturing all these great kids.
And
Melissa, our producer.
We're handing out 80s candy right now. Candy that
Hey,
was
what happened to
popular
Trick or Treat?
in the 80s.
All right, does anybody have a good joke? You do? All right.
Why did scientists find bones on the moon?
I don't know, why?
Because the cow never made it.
What's your joke?
What does a ghost have in its nose?
I don't know, what?
Boogers.
Hey, is that thing loaded? Can you shoot that guy right there? Oh! Right down, nice job. Did you get some candy?
Why couldn't the ghost see his parents?
Why?
Because they're transparent.
You guys have awesome. And you know what? You look amazing with this costume. I was her once, but I think you're pulling it off a lot better.
Thank you.
All right, you guys, have we had fun?
Yeah!
Everybody say Happy Halloween!
Happy Halloween!
We'll see you guys back here tomorrow at 10 a.m. without the shoulder pads and figurines.